Hey, this is Lou from YA Strength, and if you do intermittent fasting, please note that it's okay to take a break. Every once in a while, you can take a break from it. And naturally, or in most cases for most people, every once in a while you're gonna run into certain events like birthday parties, major holidays, or even a simple social gathering with family and friends where you'll be surrounded by great food and by great drinks. And at that point in time, you'll probably ask yourself, should I break my fast? Or if you're on a diet, should I break my diet? And let me answer that question for you. Yes, you should break that fast or whatever diet you're on and enjoy that time with your family and your friends. Do not stress yourself out when it comes to intermittent fasting. With that said, stay tuned and I'll tell you about a great way in which you can apply the 80-20 rule to intermittent fasting. And don't forget to show love, subscribe, and help me grow. Let's get started. Okay, so to get started, the 80-20 rule is also known as the Pareto principle. And from this principle, the idea is that roughly 80% of all consequences come from about 20% of causes. And there are other common names for this principle, such as the law of vital few, the principle of factor sparsity, and of course, we can't forget the 80-20 rule. And this principle can actually be applied in many ways. But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to take it from the perspective of moderation and balance. When it comes to intermittent fasting, finding a balance is very important with regard to being able to consistently stick to whatever fasting routine you want to do. So it's really about finding an approach that is sustainable for you to do on a long-term basis or consistently enough for you to see results. And one way to interpret the 80-20 rule and apply it to intermittent fasting is understanding that you don't have to stick to fasting 100% of the time to reach your goal. And fasting for at least just 80% of that time should still be enough to reach whatever goals you have from intermittent fasting. In other words, by example, although fasting all week, Monday through Sunday, would be very good, it would be great actually, the point is that you should be able to achieve the same goals in relatively the same amount of time if you were fasting from Monday to about mid-Saturday. Because 80% of 7 days in a week is about 5.5 or 5.6 days, which should leave you with about a day and a half of time in which you technically don't have to fast if you don't want to, and you still reach your goals. So feel free to enjoy those great times over the weekend, regardless of when your fasting window is, or regardless of if you are breaking your fasting routine, because you fast for majority of the time. And by majority, I mean roughly at least 80% of the time, which should enable you to still get the benefits you were looking for when you first began fasting in the first place. Now, keep in mind that diet is important too when it comes to intermittent fasting, but as long as you apply the 80-20 rule to your diet as well while you're intermittent fast, you should be able to achieve the same goal. So as long as you don't overindulge when you have those times of, I guess, cheat meals or when you don't stick to your fasting window, you should be fine as long as you stick to your diet, right, or your fasting routine majority of the time. Again, which is at least, or should be at least, if you're sticking to this principle, 80% of the time. So feel free to enjoy those less healthy foods for the remaining 20% of the time. And you should be able to stay in good shape. So do not stress yourself out for breaking your fasting routine or for breaking your diet every once in a while. Everything's going to be okay. And all that is to say, naturally, every once in a while, like I said in the beginning, you're going to run into those times where you have to attend certain events, social functions, whether it be a holiday, socializing with your family, and you're going to be surrounded by great foods and great drinks. And you're going to ask yourself, hey, should I break my diet or should I break my fasting routine? And the short answer to that question is yes. Feel free to do it. Enjoy those times. Don't stress yourself out. Just keep in mind that you want to stick to your diet or to your fasting routine majority of the time, which is AKA, if we're sticking to the principle, 80% of the time. So yes, break your fast and enjoy that time with your family and friends. Hope you found this video helpful and informative. As always, this is Lou from YA Strength. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next video.